Hi guys, welcome back to my scrap space. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the junk part of junk journaling and kind of give you a few sneak peeks at some of the junk that I'm using. Last night we had some macaroni and cheese and my husband thought I was crazy because I told him I want that noodle box and he was like, what? And I was like, I want that noodle box. I was so excited because it has this privacy peekaboo window there, so I've cut it down and it's going to be perfect for my next little journal. You can see I literally just cut the tabs off of it and the side of it, and then we'll gesso the top of this and sew in our signatures and have fun with that little window there. So that's one thing that I've been doing to use some junk in my journaling. Some of the other things I've recently been doing, this actually my daughter took off of a candle and I thought I would make an awesome little stamp, so I'm gonna have to try it out next time I need some circles. Just gonna dip it in ink or paint and go at some mixed media with this cool little circle design. So this part's glass and this part's plastic. I'll just be able to clean up there after I use it. Some of the other things I've been trying to find things to use for, right now we're in the era of one-time use plastic, and we all know it doesn't do good things for landfill. So I cut up a soda bottle and I'm going to use it for two things. The bottom piece I thought would be really great as a little paint palette, so I just washed it out and this will just sit on my desk. It's tiny, which is really nice. I can just put a couple little blobs of ink or paint or glue or whatever I'm doing, and then when I'm done I can either reuse it, or once it gets tattered I will probably recycle it. The rest of the jar is actually what I was after. This was a Dr. Pepper bottle and it has these ridges. I don't know if you guys can really see that on camera, but maybe a little bit. I'm going to die cut with these and we'll show that in just a few minutes and make some really cool shapes. If you don't have acetate or vellum or that kind of thing, this is a really cool way to use some plastic in your books. So I just took some heavy scissors and cut it up. You want to be careful that you don't cut your hands or whatever with scissors. Another thing I recently cut up was a soda can, and my cat's name is Fanta, so I cut up a Fanta can and I will probably use this on a page or something to put a picture of him on. So I just thought that was really fun. Again, the edges of this could be a little bit sharp, so just be careful there. And then I raided some cardboard. Much to Fanta's dismay, he was not happy with me raiding the cardboard. He thinks he is king of the cardboard. And I'm going to cut some tags, things out. These are just, these are the tabs off the boxes, just regular cardboard box. This is part of a soda box. This was part of a chip box. So I'm gonna use some die cuts to cut some tag shapes and stuff out. You can also use templates or just cut them freehand if you are good at that. I am not very good at that. One thing that most of us junk journalists use are these privacy envelopes. You get a lot of these in your mail for bills or junk mail or whatever. So I've started keeping those and we'll be using those in pockets and pages and whatever. This was a piece of mail I received as well, and I punched the little card out of it here, and then I think I'm going to use it as a pocket or a window or something fun. So give me a second to get situated at my die cut table and we will get cutting and we'll see some of the cool things that we can make out of this soda bottle plastic. I'm excited for those flowers. Alright you guys, welcome back to my die cutting station. Sorry it's a little rough around the edges here today, but we're going to make it work. It's not my normal workstation, but we'll just get it going. As you guys have seen in my previous videos, I like to use the eBosser, Big Shot, Vagabond, I think the Geminis. I'm not sure if the Geminis do these larger dies or not, but those are all similar machines, Sizzix, so forth. So I've got a sandwich here. I'm using A and C on my plates for the eBosser because I'm using these larger dies. These ones, the brown ones, are the Tim Holtz ones. They're all from Sizzix, and we're gonna give it a go here and see what we can do out of this plastic. kind of excited to see some flowers. So I'm just making my sandwich. I've got the C plate on the bottom. I've got my Tim Holtz die with the blades up. And then I'm gonna put some of this plastic over this flower here. Gotta find a piece that's big enough. There we go. And then we'll put this top plate on, which is the A plate. And I've got to kind of squish it a little bit because this plastic, if you remember, was a little bit bent. So we'll see how it works. And then it just goes through here. Okay, so let's check this out. This would be really cool to use for like snowflakes. If you had a snowflakes die too, you could cut some cool shapes. So this you could use with some alcohol ink or some paint, or just leave it clear like this. I like that it's already, because the plastic was curved, but this also is kind of curved. I'm not sure if you're able to see it really good. Let's see. Maybe that will help. You can kind of see it's not flat, but we could flatten it out if we want it flat. I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm going to make a few more of these. And we'll also do some other ones. I've got this, let's see. Got this cool frame. This is just a red Sizzix die. It's the rectangular frame. This is an originals die, so this one is kind of a lot older. I'm going to use this Coke packaging on this one because it's a good size. And then we'll just make the sandwich again the same way. C and A. So that worked out a nice frame. So it's cardboard here. And then you could also use this as like a insert or as like a little photo mat, something. Of course, you could cut this with your trimmer or with your scissors. These dies are just something I have had for years and they come in quite handy. So now I think I'm going to cut some flowers out of some book page. And sometimes what I like to do, because this is a little longer than what my die is, and just fold it up. When you have these big dies, they definitely go through a little more layers of thinner paper. So this is just coffee dyed book page. And we'll just make it a CNA sandwich again. And run it through here. These are pretty fun. This is the Tim Holtz Tattered Flowers die. And it's cut through all this book page, which is so cool. I made a whole bunch of different flowers. And then you could also use this offcut page to do some stenciling, or maybe tear a piece out and use it on a page. So that would be fun. But these are really what I was after. These are the flowers. This is the flower that I just cut out in that plastic, but now I've cut it out of book page. And then it's got some little flowers here too. You can paint and ink and glue and do all kinds of fun things with these. I like to layer them, crinkle them, add some brads, whatever you want to do. So there's some of those at a book page. One other fun thing I like to do is do a little folding with this scallop tag. And so when you have a folded page, if you position your tag, so this is the die cut, it's the Super Scout tag. If you position your die cut just off the edge, the folded edge, it won't cut there. So then you can have like an attached together tag. And I'll show you what I mean. I've just got some book pages here. These are copy dyed. Got some blue. This was from a notebook paper that kind of ran off. So I'm just going to fold these here. And then when I position it on the die cut, I'm going to position it just behind this line right here. I hope you guys can see that, because this line is where it's going to cut. So you'll see that it's not going to cut that side edge, but it's going to cut everything else. So we'll go ahead and put that here. I'm doing 3 of them at a time, so we'll see how that works. Make the C and A plate sandwich. Make sure nothing moved. Through. Oop. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. So if this worked out, we should have some little booklets out of this tag shape. And it did. So this is what one looks like now. And then you can put this in a tuck spot like you would anything else, or you can put this actually in the journal sewn into one of the signatures, which I think would be a really great idea. So I'm going to play with some of those. And then I'm going to cut some cardboard. I'm going to make some tags. So this one is a Sizzix die, and it's conveniently named tags, and it has kind of a normal tag cut there and then a rounded tag. So we'll just make some cardboard pieces. This is just plain old box cardboard, and sometimes if you don't have a big enough piece, you can put the size that you need over one tag or one shape, and then kind of fill in what you have over here. If you put the smooth edges together, that's a little better. And then it'll cut at the same time. So again, I've got the C plate and the A plate, and we'll go right through the E-bosser here. A little thicker material, so I have to work a little harder for this one, but once it's going, it'll do it on its own. Okay, so this just made some really fun little tags. And it kind of squished it down too as it went through, so it's not quite as thick. Which is kind of fun. And that's that other shape that we've got there. So, and then you could use these as windows or stencils or whatever you want to use them for, recycle them if you don't need anything else. Let's see. I've got this really cool, oops. I've worked with this one before. This one is a birdhouse die cut. This is a Tim Holtz one. Oops, where's the label? There it is. See if you guys can see that. And then when I put the cardboard on this one, it is hanging over just a little bit, so I might try to fit another tag on my mat, and that's totally okay. It's only going to cut one, I think, but that's okay. as long as it will fit on your plate here, and it does, you can run it through. So what I've got on here now is 2 die cuts and a piece of cardboard, and then my C plate and my A plate, and through the E-boss where it goes. That worked out just great. That was the excess piece of tag that it didn't have enough room for, but look, we still did get this one. And I like on the other side, it's already white, so that'll be nice. And here is my bird house, a bird cage. And all of those pieces will just pop right out. There's a little bird. And the wing, if you want to give it a little extra pop-up of texture there. Okay. Some of these dies, like this one that I have, it has 3 tags on it. So it has a really little one, kind of a medium one, and then a bigger one. Those are kind of fun. You can get a lot of different shapes. This one is called the rectangle window card. And I thought it'd be really fun to just run it through with some cardboard here. See what we got. C and A plate again, die cut, and some cardboard. That is just so cool how much it squishes the cardboard. Like, here's what we started with, and here's what we ended up with. So it's like almost half. So this is just kind of a cool little window. You can fold this in half, and you have like a little window piece. Great base for making some shakers or just a little folder. Okay, I'm gonna cut out a few more tags here. Got some scrap pieces. Let's see what we can get. C and A plate, a piece of that Coke box. Okay, so this die cut, most of the tag ones punched the hole in it already as well, so that's kind of nice. A little curled because this cardboard was kind of bent, but we can work with that. So that one has this little small one, and then this medium sized one. So 3 for 1 on that piece of, on that die cut. Okay, and then I wanted to cut some more of the flowers out of that plastic. Super excited about this plastic flowers, especially where it already has this indents in there. I think that's going to be some really great stuff here. So it is a little challenging to get to lay flat, but you just have to squish it and bend it until it works. And then when it goes through the die cutter, it kind of flattens out on its own. So I made that angry. Turn it the other way. Hopefully it'll work. It's not totally flat. I think that's why it's not happy. There it goes. That turned out really awesome. That's so great. And then we've got this piece, but this piece is probably just not going to be used. Send it back through again. Some of these smaller ones. Now this one wants to roll, so I think I might just let it do that. And I'm going to lay it on this smaller flower and try to get two at the same time. We'll see if it will do that. So I've got it pretty squished in there. All right, so that did work. Got this cute little flower. And again, this is just one-time use plastic. It's a really good way to make your own little flowers if you have a die cutter. And, you know, use up what you've got. It's a good idea to have some kind of a trash bin or a bag nearby because these little shards are a little bit sharp. Don't want to step on them. Okay, that one, I just have room for a little partial little one, and I'm going to send it back through. You can hear it popping and cracking, and that's okay. Just means it's cutting out our shape here. Now you can also use your die cuts with fabric and all kinds of different mediums. Just make sure you read the instructions and make sure you're not cutting something that isn't good for the die cut according to the manufacturer's instructions. But I have been able to cut vellum and cardboard and chipboard and plastic, wallpaper samples, file folders, all kinds of fun things. And I think I'm just going to make a couple more of these scalp tags, these bigger ones. I'm doing a challenge coming up and we have to use some large tags, so I think this will be great. This one, I'm not going to fold them because I think I want the wording to be right side up, so just go with that. Got this coffee dyed book page, my die cut underneath there, C plate, A plate, we're going through the e-buster. So that did 3 at one time. Those turn out just great. And now if I turn it sideways, I can go through one more time. Sometimes what I do with this, because this is going to be excess hanging over, I will just wrap it under the die or tear it off. Either way is totally fine. If you're finding that it's too thick to do that, just rip it off or cut it off. Anyway, so I was able to get 2 of those out of 1 piece of book page, which is great. And then we'll do another one here out of this piece of graph paper that I did try to dye. I got some cool effects going there. Okay, so got these super scout tags with some dyed stuff on there. These will be a good base to work with, or just some cute little inserts to do some journaling on. So I'm not really sure how I got this little scallop here. Maybe it was from the book that the paper was initially in, but it's kind of fun. And then with all these die cuts, if you're not a familiar die cutter, you will have all these little dots everywhere. So be aware of that. My die cut station here is full of tons of scraps, and I'll need to come through and clean them up. But anyways, there you have it, guys. This is some of the junk and junk journaling, and some of what you can do to reuse this one-time use plastic that we're all getting a ton of during this COVID stuff. And I like to use like plastic Starbucks cups, or wherever you get your coffee from. You can, if you have plastic like this from soda bottles or whatever, if you can rinse it out, you know, and cut it smaller so you can get it around your die cut. You can make these cute. You could even make plastic tags if you had a big enough piece here, which might be kind of fun. Any die cut shape that you have, you can definitely make a cut out of. It'd be fun to do some junk mail, all kinds of book pages and cardboard and boxes, and like I showed you guys earlier, I've been trying to do my part and use a little bit more of some of the stuff that we are making here in our disposables. But I think this is going to be my favorite repurpose for this one-time use plastic. Die cut flowers. So let me know in the comment box down below if you try any of this, or if you have a different use for your junk journaling with some of your junk. I'm definitely interested. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and like and subscribe and share if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.